Welcome back to my channel. I'm Kathy Reward with Rising Sun Organic Beyond 60. Today's going to be fun. Well, I try to make them all fun. But I'm going to do my first review on Beautycounter, a wonderful green line that I've just been introduced to. And I'm going to be introducing you to the Countertime Anti-Age skincare. And then I'm going to do Flawless in 5, a real easy makeup that you can get. You can get on the website Flawless in 5, and you choose all the colors you want, your foundation colors, your brow pencil, and it's pretty exciting. So join me, and if you don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and ring the bell for future videos. So thank you so much. Good morning. This is Kathy, and I bet you're wondering why I have rollers in my hair and I'm looking like this. But I wanted to bring you a get ready with me with Beautycounter. Beautycounter is a product line that I've been looking at and reviewing for about the last 6 weeks. And with this line, what inspired me to look at it is I started my YouTube channel just a few 6 months or so ago. It was my intent to educate my clients on good, clean beauty, green products that didn't have chemicals in them. And I realized there is so much on the market today that is just not good for your skin. So for 40 years, I've been an esthetician, and for 15, I have been a holistic practitioner. And what I had found as doing my YouTube videos is there was a lot of people that were following me that had no idea on what to choose. And they weren't fortunate enough to come in and have monthly facials or have private time with me. So I thought I need to evaluate some products so I can be sure that they're Kathy approved if you choose to use them. So that's what I have chosen. In fact, Beautycounter is not the only one, but it's one of the ones that I'm pretty excited about. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out. I have been evaluating the anti-age skincare line, which is so simple. And, you know, even having, at the age of 71, having aging skin, I've really enjoyed it. Then I'm going to show you just 5 products that you can use for an updated look for aging skin. That's very simple. I hope you enjoy it. So let's get going, and then I will show you at the end what it looks like, and I won't have rollers in my hair. So the first thing I did this morning is it's a very, very easy skincare line. I particularly like their cleanser, the cleanser in the anti-aging line. And that is an oil cleanser. And I mean, this is something we didn't use many years ago because it was going to clog our pores. But some of the minerals and some of the sunscreens that we use today, we want to get that off our face. So this is so nice. And I've already used it, so I don't want to. I have to put on my glasses to see. But it is, it's just a really nice oil I'm going to show you. And you just put a few drops, you can see, and go all over the face. And for the people that have really dry skin, oh my God, this just helps exfoliate. It helps, it's just so smoothing to the skin. After you've worked it all onto your skin, then you can take water and work that up. So I've always done a double cleanse at night. Usually I would use some sort of a cream cleanser and then another type of cleanser. But with this, I haven't had to do that. It just has taken my mascara off. It's taken my sunscreen off, my makeup, and it's really left a beautiful, beautiful base, hydrating base. So my face, I haven't done anything to it except for cleansed it at this point. So the next step, and if you don't like an oil cleanser, there are other cleansers in the line that you could use that foam up, or if you've got more oilier skin, and I'll be doing reviews on those. But right now I have just brought in the anti-aging line. So the second step, of course, is your serum. Is your freshener. And I find that a lot of people, they don't use fresheners on their skin. And I've always been a big advocate for it, because we're used to the days where we use alcohol toners and things like that just dried our skin out. That's not what we're trying to do. I want to hydrate the skin and balance the pH. So I'm using let me get this. I'm using their, okay, that's a wrong one. All right. Their Essence, okay, and these are wonderful little travel sizes that I got in. Now, why this is called an essence, I'm going to give you some background on what's called an essence versus a toner. That's a Korean term, and Koreans are all about glass skin, and they use probably 4 layers of hydration to get that glassed in. And I feel that this I'm going to put some on here. This is so hydrating to the skin. I put it on my eyes because that is going to make such a difference on how your makeup looks. Forever when I do makeup at the shop, the first thing I do is I put their essence on, and I have ones for Korea, but this has landed on my makeup counter because it's so hydrating to the eyes, not to have things, whether or not you're wearing makeup or not to have your face all cracked and dehydrated. And that's my second step. And I don't use a cotton ball. I use, you can stick it on the top of your hand and make your hands look good, and then take it to your face and your neck, but it's just beautiful. All right, the third step is our serum. And serums are necessary, and why we don't want to put our serum on after our moisturizers and so forth. We want to do this because your serum needs to get deep into the skin. It's got a smaller molecular structure, so you need it in there. And so I'm going to put our serum on. Again, it's a beautiful, beautiful serum. And you only need maybe a pump and a half for your neck. And with the hydration underneath it, it's making it travel more. And of course, I use it on my eyes. And this is unheard of because my eyes are so sensitive. There's very few things that I can use on it. The other serum that I pulled up, that I received, is the Beautycounter Vitamin C. Vitamin C is very necessary for their skin. So a lot of times I will use, this is your vitamin C, I will use the vitamin C in the morning and then the serum at night. So today I'm just putting both of them on. Oh, somebody's loading up their motorcycle out there. So I've got a good hydration going here. And then the last step, we have several moisturizers. It just depends what you like. And so I'm going to put the moisturizer on. See which one it is here. And this is a very soft, light cream. As you can see, look at my hands there. You can tell I've been out in the garden. I don't need a lot because we just need, I'm going to put a little bit on because the hydration from the serum and your essence has really done a beautiful base for your makeup. So here's what we've done so far. So I took the oil cleanser and I cleansed my face. And a lot of times I will have my clients, the most important part is to do this at night. Now, if you've got real dry skin, you should do it again in the morning. But a lot of people, their time is, they don't have all the time in the world. So I will just have them get up right out of the shower and just put their essence on. And then their serum of the day in the morning could be your vitamin C, and then your moisturizer. There's several different moisturizers. And then at nighttime, you can do a little bit more as far as using your repair serum, your tripeptide serum. I will put links up here kind of describing. I didn't want to make this video real long, so I will put links to describe some of these items because they're just fabulous. And if you're going to use a sunscreen, you would put your sunscreen on after your serum. We've got several different kinds, and they're all physical sunscreens, so there's no chemicals in them. We're seeing these products pulled off the market that have the harmful chemicals in them that we just don't need. And that's, I see this all the time. I see that, why does this person have this horrible rash? And they think it's rosacea, and it's usually from their sunscreen and a chemical reaction with the sun. So it's amazing how we're finally taking some of these products off the market. Okay, so what we have completed our 5 steps on our skincare. I'm just letting this dry a little bit, kind of sit in, and then we're going to do a real quick makeup. So you always want to let your moisturizer kind of set in, go in, get your coffee. Me, I'm sitting here drinking my smoothie. But the first thing, there's several things you can do. I'm going to demonstrate today, and these have just been repackaged and came out with more colors. We have our primer, and our primer is absolutely gorgeous because not only you can see that it's just a beautiful clear aloe vera based. This is going to diffuse your pores. It's going to put an occlusive layer. So even if you don't wear makeup, it's still going to make your skin look really nice and smooth. And I mean, at this age, we need to. I see so many videos on YouTube that they're all so young and have beautiful skin, but there's not too many out there that are talking about 71-year-old skin. So that's what I'm hoping to achieve. So I'm going to let my primer kind of sit, and I'm going to talk about the different formulas. This is the Beauty Counter. Let me get my glasses on. This is the Beauty Counter, what we call skin tint. And it's a tinted moisturizer. But not only is it a tinted moisturizer, but it is infused with skincare properties also that's going to help improve your skin. This has just been repackaged. There's several colors, and I will list all these up here, show you the charts on it. This is for the person who needs just a little bit of sunscreen and a little bit of color. So I'm going to use this today. And then I'm also going to use their new Skin Twin, and their Skin Twin just came out. It's all packaged new. This is a heavier foundation, not heavy, but you know, a light to medium foundation. It's just beautiful. So I'm going to use them both just so you can see the look that we're truly going for. I'm also going to use their Beauty Counter new concealer. And what's so good about this company is they actually have samples that you can order in to find your best color. And this kind of gives you a little bit of choices of what concealer would be best for you. If you want to use a dew skin, if you're either light or dark, you can get their samples in, or I can send them to you. And then the Skin Twin is you can either get light or dark and find the one that's best for you. It's really hard. I have been doing quite a analysis of different makeups, and I think the most fun one is I love creams. I really do love creams, and if you've watched any of my videos, you've seen me work this. But this is really nice, and I know that a lot of people out there aren't used to wearing makeup, and we went through COVID where it was pointless to put it on. So this is a good starting point to start reintroduce it. And it's so hydrating to the skin. So I'm going to take, the first one I'm going to take is going to be my skin tint, the Dew Skin. And I'm using color 3, okay? And I'm going to take, pardon me, sorry about that, I dropped my glasses. You can take this, and you don't need much. And I'm kind of working out of 2 mirrors here. Of course, I like to blend it. You can blend it with your fingers. And I wore this the last couple days, and because I've been home and I've been gardening and making a mess of my arms like I always do. But this is really nice. It really stays all day. And I'm going to kind of work a little bit on my eyes. And you can take, if you want to put it on with a brush. The brushes that I'm going to be using, I have kind of my favorites, are all Saint brushes. And this one is my BK Beauty. And you can see right there that it's looking a lot better. All right, so that's my first color of my Beauty Counter. Okay, that's the tint. That's gonna be your makeup 101 for the ones that haven't been using makeup for a long time. All right, so I'm gonna let that sit just a second. Here's what you can do also. Let's say that you don't necessarily have to wear a heavier foundation. You could start with the tint and then come in with your concealer, the new Beauty Counter concealer. And let's say you had some pigmentation that you needed to cover. So you could just dot it. You could use this to cover some of your age spots and things like that, as I talk about. And I'm just going to go a little bit in that ditch and work it in. I'm also going to go up on my eyelid. I'm going to use this as my primer for my eyelid, and you've seen me use different things, but I've only been working with Beauty Counter, like I said, not very long. I know they're in a big, they're changing packaging and quite a few things, so there's some things that they don't have available right now, but I'll tell you, the stuff they've come out with, I'm really impressed. So I've used that, my primer, and I'm using a color, because my skin is light to medium neutral, and I'm using, oh, I can't even tell you. I will list it up there because I don't see very well. In fact, that's kind of why I'm liking this, because I don't like to get too much down in here, because, you know, the more we get in here, it's going to draw attention to it. So again, I'm just working this, and I've used it as a primer on my eyes to neutralize the tones, because I'm going to want that. I'm going to set that with a little bit of powder. All right, so you can see how that's covering. All right, now that that has set, I'm going to take my Beauty Counter, the actual, turn the bottle right, and I'm using color. Now I had two colors. I had medium 360 and medium 340, I believe. And neither one of them were perfect on me. So I'm going to take a little bit. Oh, I guess this does look pretty good today. I don't need much. You probably need just a half a pump. And I'm working off of 2 mirrors here, so I don't, and I like to stipple it in, because you're using less product. You can even put that pump on the top of your head. I mean, the top of your head. Oh yeah, top of your hand, and work like this. Yeah, that would be quite the look, you know, put it on top of your head. Oh gosh, what am I thinking? All right, so now you can see a little bit more coverage, and my skin is getting a lot glowier. I really like this. Like I said, I've been trying, I probably have 12 to 15 different foundations that I've been working with, trying to find the Holy Grail. Oh boy, and that's, I'm talking about green, you know, safe foundations. And I don't love foundations with sunscreen in them, because sometimes I find that the higher the sunscreen in your makeup, the worse the makeup is. So that's just kind of, and in this case, you could have used the skin tint as your primer. I mean, it works beautiful. So that's kind of given me a nice glow. And if you need more coverage, if let's say you've got some more pigmentation, you can go back in again, like I said, with your concealer. I know I've got some stuff down here, or maybe another light coat to just build your makeup on your skin. And I like using brushes, but I always come back and use a damp sponge and a setting spray. All right, so that's number 1. Okay, then so we've gone through our concealer, our primer, that's not number 1, it's number 3, and our skin tint, and our foundation. So I'm gonna kind of let this set. Now real quick, as it's setting, I'm going to, they came out with these beautiful, absolutely beautiful blushers, and I'll put the color range up, but it's a cream blusher. And so I'm going to kind of just dot this in. It's so nice on the skin because it doesn't have texture. And oh, I think it's getting really pretty outside. I think we're going to get some rain today. We've needed it. We've been dry for so long here in Nevada, and we've got the fires going. So you can see that I'm getting just a little bit of color. We might go back afterwards. So the next step that I'm going to do is we're going to set, I'm going to take a brush and I want to put a light powder on my eyelids. So let me get my mirror so I can see. And what this is going to do is this is going to set that concealer that we've used on our eyelid to neutralize the tones. Because that, again, you've heard me say, if you've watched my other videos, you've heard me say that, you know, nothing, even if you weren't going to use anything at all, the most aging of our face is our eyes because of the discoloration in our eyelids. So I'm just putting this in. Got me finally a new mirror. I got Ricky when it's kind of like what a lot of the makeup artists use when doing their videos, because I was tired of having you showing you the top of my head. Okay, so I've got that neutralized, and I'm just putting a little bit underneath because I'm going to make a mess probably. Okay, let's see what I have here. All right, the next step, I'm going to go off camera here and I'm going to do my brows because everyone knows how to do their brows. And it just for time's sake, so I'll be right back with you. Okay, I'm back. I got my brows on. What I did, since I don't have the brow pencil from, there's several different colors from Beautycounter, I just used some shadow on my brows because they need to be really... Okay, let me set this here. But the next thing I'm going to use, which I absolutely love, is their brow gel. And this comes in different colors also. And for those of you that have really nice brows, you can just use this by yourself. And it, you just kind of work it in. Let me get this. You work it in your brows, puts the color in and keeps them to stay, but it gives you enough color. All right. Because I know what I've done before is I've kind of taken it here because this one's a little tweezed too far over. And then I took my brush and blended it in. So, this really is nice. And I use this, again, it's a lot easier. Sometimes the pencils get really hard to use. And I'm also, I'm going to be using Beautycounter's cream shadows today because a lot of times when we get older, we're not able to see well enough to put the shadows on. So I'm going to show you those today. Again, it's a real simple look. So you can see how I have worked my brows in because they go up so high and I have to bring them down and what a comical thing. All right, so we've got 3 colors here of the different, now I don't have any of the light ones, but I'm going to swatch these on my hand. This is a really pretty, well, let me get some on here. This is just kind of a smoky green, and you can get a lot deeper than that. You know, for if you've got brown eyes, it goes with all kinds of eyes. Then we've got, I'll put a color chart up there to show you. Then there's this really pretty bronze that I'm showing. And And then a lighter shade of bronze. And like in my eye color, this is a lot softer, you can see that. I'm going to take, let's see, I'm going to take some green, all right, and put on my lower lid. Here we are. I got to turn, make sure I'm not covering everything up. So I've just put this on there with the doe foot, and you can take your finger and just blend it and work it in. If you want more color, you can put more color. It's buildable. And the other thing too is I have, and I've told people, I have macular in my eyes. And wait, when you're doing this, do one eye at a time, because this dries pretty fast. So you don't want to do the other eye and then come back and it's just dried. But that's a good thing, because you want it to stay all day. So it's really a good way, and I'm using my finger so you can see what a pretty color that is. So let's do this other eye. But you know, years ago, we didn't have all these fancy brushes. We worked with awful brushes. So a lot of people use those little foamy things that came with their eyeshadows, and okay, let me get my bigger mirror here. So that's put just a little bit. I might put a little bit more. And you can choose a color where you can just do one and done. I mean, you could take, there's so many colors available, some beautiful, just light colors. Okay, let's see what we're looking like. Yeah. See, just a little bit. And then I'm going to take some of this this darker brown. We'll start with this and kind of dot it in on my bone for a transition color. And let's see if I can, I'm going to work this in with my brush. I'm going to stipple it in. So now we're getting a little bit of a definition on our brow bone. And even if I had the other colors, we could have put one of the lighter ones on the bottom and then use this on this outer bone to lift this edge. So let's get this in here. And again, you can be doing this with your finger. I always get, I think because I can't see very well out of this eye, I always get one eye a lot darker than the other. But I'll tell you, these really stay. And I have been working with a lot of cream shadows, working with different brands. And I found that oh, in fact, I might do a video on all the different brands that I've worked with. Some of them really cause just like mascara, it's almost like a fume that comes off them that's irritating to my eye. And you know, as we get older, our eyes are more sensitive. So let's see if I kind of match here. And this brown is pretty because it's got like a kind of a plum cast to it. All right, let's see. All right, you could also, I think what I'm going to do, because come in and I'm going to just take that deep brown that I used, and let me get and I'm going to take it right off the doe foot, and I'm going to do like an eyeliner, put some depth, and I'm using you can use a real flat end brush like this. All right, let's see if I'm getting anywhere here. I might just put it here. Just kind of gone underneath, and I put a little bit, you know, we're used to using real dark, but this isn't that dark. So let me kind of do the same over here. I'm trying to get a deep base at the lash line with not having that I see the birds are helping us with our makeup today out there. I love that sound. Okay, like I said, I'm going to keep this simple because I want to make this look very, very simple. I'm going to stick my glasses on to see if I've got it even close. Kind of blend these out a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off camera and put my mascara on, but our mascara is to die for. I need to get my eyelash curler because I'm still from the olden days. But this mascara, it's in kind of a bullet, boy, and it's got a beautiful, absolutely beautiful brush. And again, I've been trying all kinds of different clean beauty. Now you almost have to get used to a clean mascara because it doesn't have the coal tar in it and it doesn't have all the formaldehyde, so it goes on. It doesn't dry quite as fast, but it's great for your skin. Not only is it great for your I'm sorry, not your skin, but your eyelashes. It keeps them soft, it keeps them healthy, and it actually, your growth, you know, that has the growth serums in them that's going to condition. So I'll be right back again. Okay, I'm back. Got my mascara on. Look at those lashes. It just, and you can continue to build as a second coat and get them really long. It's one of the nicest mascaras that I've used for a long time. And you can put that second coat on there. So just a simple look. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of dot. I'm going to take my setting powder, and they don't have a setting spray. So I'm using my Jane Iredale. And I'm just going to kind of blot it all over and set it because it's going to make it last all day. And we're gonna put a little bit of more concealer because I want to I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna work it up this way. Now you want to stay in that ditch. You don't want it all over that puff below. But what I'm doing too is cleaning up this line. So we're keeping that at a line to lift that outer eye. I want this concealer in against the nose. Okay, when you choose your concealers, you only want them about one step up. Maybe you need two of them. One step up here for your eyes, and then for your pigmentation or for those little spots that you want to cover, you could go at your base color. But that's why that little thing that you get from Beautycounter to choose your color is so great. So I've got that blended in. Now what I want to take, I'm going to put a little bit more blusher on. And then I'm going to take, all right. And this color that I'm using is Cheeky Clean. Well, I don't know what it's called. Cheeky Clean. But it's and these are refillable too, which I love because, so I'm going to set that there, but I'm going to come and use a bronzer. And I'm using a bronzer from my Mob Beauty, because at this point they don't have a bronzer out yet. They're repackaging and stuff. So I'm just going to kind of take, and I'm going to work this in kind of the forehead. Now I don't have much of a forehead, but bronzers always go on your forehead. And I always kind of work it down my neck. Mob Beauty is one of my other ones, but it's giving some dimension, trying to give me that V shape and blending it. All right, so I think get these curlers out of my hair and some lips on, I might be ready for the day. All right, I'm going to take just a quick liner. I'm using my Osmosis. I think their liners aren't quite out yet, but when I use a liner, I like to use it on the side. And I'm normally a real liquid lip girl. I'm not a big lipsticks because I haven't found them that really stay on real well. But I'm liking these, and I'm loving their gloss. So let me find what I did with it. This color is, I tell you, I get my glasses again. I believe, isn't that a pretty color? It's kind of a rose, rose fuchsia. And it's more like it's got more pigment than a lip tint. And we've got beautiful colors. And for some reason, I ordered 2 and they're the same color. Is that, do you think and their glosses are absolutely gorgeous. I'm not usually one for selling glosses to older women, but this and the new Jane Eyre Iredale are so nice. They are really nice. So we can go over this. And you know, this might just be yours. You know, you might just want to do a lip pencil, fill your lip in with some pencil and put your gloss on. There's neutral colors. There's even a neutral lip color. So your lip colors, your lipsticks are going to be a little bit more pigmented than your glosses. So what I'm going to do right now, I think we've got this all together. I'm going to cut away and go do my hair, and we're going to go for the finished look. And we're back. I think I'm looking a little bit better, but we're going to go through a little review of what we did today. And if you've got any questions, direct mail me or leave a comment below if you want to see different things, because I'm pretty excited about this. I'm going to leave everything listed below that I use. And what's exciting right now is if you need to place your first time, if you've never ordered from Beautycounter before, and you place your first order, you get a 30% discount. And that's, you know, that gives you the opportunity. Right now we have a lot of the minis in, so you can order those and try out your skincare. Maybe you don't need everything. Maybe you've got some stuff that you're using, so you just need a few things. So that's one of the nice things. And what I talked about was ordering me so you can pick out your best color. And it's so user-friendly that I'm so impressed with, and it gives me the opportunity to, yes, this product is wonderful, and it's very, very clean. And what I refer to is the EWG, which is the Environmental Working Group, and they rate products on their toxicology and what chemicals they have on a scale of 1 to 10. Well, these all come out at 1 and 2. So they're oncology friendly, they're vegan, they're not tested on animals. So I'm very, very happy to share this line with you. So what we started out today, and I kind of showed how I cleansed my face with a cleansing oil. Then I used the essence, and this is the counter control for the anti-age, the essence, and that's that hydrating. And I always have my clients, no matter what line that I'm working with them, they always use an essence, because it's just going to take the serum that we put on top of that, and it's going to make the serum penetrate deeper into the skin and give you more hydration. And that's what it's all about. That's why we look older, because our skin doesn't hold hydration. And then I put, like in the morning, I will put the vitamin C serum on, which is your antioxidants for the day, and that helps with brightening, pigmentation, and so forth. And then at nighttime, I will use the serum and give you, you know, as your skin is repairing itself at night. That's really nice. There's also another balm that you can wear at night that is absolutely, you have a tendency to use too much, but you don't. It's just a heavier balm that just goes on your skin, and it's beautiful. And of course, there's 2 different types of eye creams. But so anyway, we went through the age repair skincare. Then we started out with the different, I put on the primer, and again, that's up to you. You might have a primer at home. I normally am going to use the primer when I use the heavier foundation, the more, I'm trying to think, let me get some glasses on. I'm sorry, I have to wear glasses all the time. The Skin Twin Foundation, because it's just going to give you more of a look. And then, so I use color 360, and again, I'm light to medium with neutral skin. So you can, Now there's a lot more, so I believe there's 16. I might be a little off here. I'm not brilliant on this line yet of knowing all the colors and so forth. Then if you choose, you can just use your skin tint. And your skin tint is a beautiful primer. So even if you had this on during the day and then you were going to go out to dinner and you want to put a little bit heavier foundation on, it works beautiful as a primer also. And again, primers are important. And it just really diffuses the pores, it makes your skin look hydrated. So then we did, after that, I put a little bit of their cream blushers, and their cream blushers, they're refillable. And this has got, which is nice because they've just repackaged this. They're just going for that. So you can refill these and not have to put these into our landfills. And there's all different colors, which I will show up on the screen. Then we put on, I used the concealer. I use the concealer on my eyelids to conceal. A lot of times you'll watch me and I'll use a eye primer, but this works good until we, have something that comes out that's even that much better. And then I dusted it with a powder because I needed to set that concealer in. I want to neutralize all those colors in the eyes because that's what's going to show age. And even if you're not going to wear any makeup whatsoever, let's say it was just skin tint, neutralize the eyes. It makes you look so much younger. And then I went and did my brows. I did them with their pencil, but I was just kind of cutting time. And then I used their beautiful eye gel. And this comes in colors. I believe it comes in clear too, but especially those that have a beautiful brow too, they can just use this all by itself. And I used brown. Then I used of our new cream shadows. Okay, I used two colors. I used they need to make bigger print on here. I can't see it, but the soft green, because my eye has a lot of green in it. And then I used the soft bronzy brown on my bone too, and you can see how soft. And for people with macular and they're not able to see, this is ideal. And this is why I've been working so much with cream shadows, because I have macular in my left eye, and I've been through a case study. I've been one of the case studies for the last 3 years where they injected gene therapy, and it has really improved the eye, but I still have that dark spot, which is lightened so much, but it has improved that eye, and I know that in the next few years that's going to be an alternative for treatment because of the success of this case study. So that's exciting. But I want to be able to have people that don't see well be able to work with their finger with a color, whether it's a soft neutral, whether it's a soft blue, whatever, just to let them, just because of age, that doesn't mean they don't have to they can't wear eyeshadow color. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. And then I used a little bit that on my liner on my eyes. I'm trying to soften it. As you are looking at me now, you know that I wear a much heavier look than this because that's just the gypsy in me. But I want simplicity here. I want that there's a collection on Beautycounter where you choose 5 products, and it's 5 in 1, and that's what I started with. And you get to choose all your colors, but it kind of gave you enough to do a full face. And again, that's 30% off this month. And then the mascara, I'll tell you, you've got to use this mascara. It is so beautiful. Again, there's a learning curve because it's a clean mascara, so you don't have all the chemicals in it that we're used to over the age. Let's get this hair crazy. And then we used, I used more blusher, and I used, all right, let's see. I used my, because they haven't come out with their new bronzer yet. I'm a bronzer girl. And because it just gives definition to your face, back to that, takes it away from here. So if we're lifting up here, we're taking away here. So, because you know, this is always, and you can always take your bronzer and work it in like this also. So my bronzer I used was from Mob Beauty, which is one of my other clean green beauty counter. I have several. I have Jane Iredale, I have Mob Beauty, I have Beautycounter, I have Osmosis, and I have Saint, which is my cream foundations. But they kind of fill in each other all along, because I'm all about, when we're using regular shadows, I'm all about using mattes. I don't like a lot of, oh, I want to do one thing. I wanted to show you something. What you can do too is, like you see on YouTube, how they have that, since I don't have the light color eyeshadow, I can put a little bit of concealer right here. And see how that just really brings that eye out, because it just like, we're putting stage lights in here, brings it forward. And again, I like to have a little bit of okay. Now, if you choose to, you can powder this down. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Jane Iredale setting spray. And I've just kind of blended that in. So it's going to just kind of blend out anything. If you want a little bit more, if you don't want all the shine, you can use a soft setting spray or setting powder, which I usually will do right in here. So anyway, what do you think? I think it's looking pretty good with my eyes and my lip color, and I don't look like a you know, so many of those looks that you see on Instagram and stuff, I mean, they're making us look like you have to look like a drag queen, you know. I mean, that's not what we want to look. We want natural. We want European looking. We want to look like we're just nice and healthy. And I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to be doing more of them with different companies, showing different looks. And please hit the bell if you liked it, and subscribe, and give me a thumbs up. And I would love to hear some of your reviews on what you think of this down in the comment section. I'm really excited about doing these, because I know so many people, like I said in the beginning, are saying, I don't know what to use. I go to the store and I have no idea what to use. Well, what you can do is Beautycounter has I'll put the name up because I'm forgetting it, where you pay $29 a year and you get free shipping and you get free discounts and points. And that is wonderful. And you're always ahead of the game on what's coming out, what the specials are, all that. So I think you should follow up. I left my link below on just kind of prowling and seeing if it's right for you. So I hope you guys have a great day. I've enjoyed this morning, and see you soon.